Well, Donald Trump sparking a firestorm today after tweeting the intelligence briefing on so-called Russian hacking was delayed until Friday. Perhaps more time needed to build a case. Very strange. But Trump is now facing some backlash from even key members of his own party. Joining me now to discuss, Herb London and former CIA operative Mike Baker. Herb, let me go with you first. Some are saying that because Donald Trump retweeted about Julian Assange's interview and the idea that perhaps a 14-year-old could have broken into the DNC, that he's siding with him against U.S. intelligence. Do you see it that way?
I don't see it that way, but I think one of the things that's happened is that the intelligence community has been politicized. I mean, when you remember, if you can remember, when Mike Flynn was forced to resign, largely because he didn't agree with the Obama positions on intelligence. So we have to look at intelligence from a somewhat different perspective. I think that Donald Trump has an obligation to start looking at the intelligence community, how we collect information, and the kind of clandestine offices we have abroad.
But should he have confidence in them? Is there a legitimate reason not to have as much confidence in the security agencies as we might have had 20 years ago, 40 years ago, 60 years ago?
Look, one of the things that's true about the intelligence community is that people were asked to engage in personal sacrifice for a mission. Now they're engaged in a mission that's sacrificed for personal gain. There's a very different attitude that exists in the intelligence world. That doesn't mean that there aren't competent people and some wonderful people working in intelligence. But I think there's a very good reason to be suspicious about the kind of information we receive.
Mike, on Capitol Hill, we had Tom Cotton says he has more faith in U.S. intelligence. Joe Walsh was a little offended. And, of course, there was Paul Ryan, who actually said Julian Assange is a sickle fan for Russia. So not everyone on the GOP is singing from the same hymn sheet on this.
No, absolutely not. Now, there's a couple of parts here. Should you always question intelligence? Well, yes, you're taught to do that whether you're working operations in the street or whether you're at the top end of the intel community or you're a politician on Capitol Hill or you're the president. You always question the intelligence. You interrogate it. And you're always looking, as you know, you're looking for corroboration. You're looking for multiple sources. You're looking for, something that is somewhat rock solid. Now, the flip side of that is it's never black and white in the intelligence world. We don't like to think it is because of feature films and beach books, but that's not how it works. So a lot of times your intelligence is based on your best informed opinion, based on the intelligence you're able to gather because of what's accessible to you. Now, so should the president-elect be questioning intelligence? Yes. Should he be doing it in the manner that he's doing it? Absolutely not. Right? I mean, I would be blowing smoke up your backside if I sat here and said I don't have a problem with the way that he's doing this and engaging in this sort of behavior towards the intelligence community that he is now going to have to work with over the course of the next several years.
What's wrong with calling them out?
In a tweet, in the public, like this, you got a problem. Show some discipline. Show some discipline in what you're doing. I mean, this is not difficult to do. You can accomplish this without what he's doing, which is turning into a sideshow here. Of course you question your intelligence. I'm not saying you don't. I'm just saying the means and the method in which you do it is wrong. Where is the discipline in this operation? And he hasn't even gotten to the White House yet.
Well, I heard, but the other side of this is that people are saying he's actually doing us a favor because the American public, for the most part, and no pun intended, have been kept in the dark when it comes to U.S. intelligence.
I think that's right. And I think this has also been made into a public fiasco. I think that's true. It should not be a circus. But the problem is it's not a circus made by Donald Trump. It's a circus that's been made by President Obama, by the Democratic Party, by Julian Assange, by television operatives. There's no question that this has become a public issue. As a consequence, Donald Trump is simply capitalizing on something that's already out there.
Well, Charles, I agree completely with what Herb is saying in terms of where this freak show is coming from, and it is the current administration, and it is the way that they've done that. I will say this, and you guys can correct me if you've got greater operational experience inside the intelligence community, but the people that I work with, the people that I've known for years and years, that I still know who are in there, they're not politicized. Now, is the top of an organization politicized? John Brennan, I mean, he's got a very close relationship with President Obama. I don't know. It's above my pay grade to say how politicized he is. But I can tell you the people that are out there collecting intelligence, that are doing the analysis inside the agency, they're not politicized. What happens when it gets out and it gets in that washing machine of the national security team over at the current White House? That's anybody's guess. But I can tell you,
Right.
the people that are out there collecting and getting that information off the street in very dangerous places oftentimes and working nonstop to protect this nation and protect the Constitution, that's not a political machine.
And, Mike, I don't think anyone has a beef with those operatives. I think it's at the higher end of the echelon where the politicalization of this has run amok, and perhaps it's new leadership that they need so that the work and the sacrifice that those men and women that you're describing really counts for something and is not politicized anymore. Gentlemen, I want to say thank both of you.